Attention deficit hyperactive disorder is not a real disease, and it should not be classified as a real disorder either. Till this day, scientists are unable to find out the causes of ADHD. There are no tests, screenings, or scans that can be done to find out where causes of ADHD come from. These behaviors that are observed in ADHD, they're simply undesired behaviors that are caused by external conflict, social and environmental factors that a child may experience throughout their childhood, and it may persist onto their adulthood as well. Professionals are misdiagnosing and mistaking children's normal stress responses for ADHD. External factors, such as abuse, can lead to behaviors perceived as ADHD. Joel Turtle, an education policy analyst and author, contends in 2005 that ADHD symptoms might also reflect stresses outside the classroom and may mirror other medical conditions. He says this in the article, Myth of ADHD. These stress factors include neglect, abuse, domestic violence, and not getting any attention from anyone, including parents and loved ones. All these stresses can cause children to behave disruptively in school. A psychiatrist and director of the International Center for the Study of Psychiatry and Psychology, named Peter R. Gregan, agrees with Turtle. He says, any of these medical conditions, normal personality variations, emotional problems, or outside the classroom stress factors can stir up a child's attention, natural enthusiasm, or desire to learn in class. These experts believe that children's behaviors are caused by external factors, and these include the stresses I mentioned earlier, and the personal differences in environment that child grew in can affect their behaviors as well. Let's switch gears and talk about a more specific external factor, abuse, and then eventually poverty. So for abuse. In the article, Linkages Between Child Abuse and ADHD in Girls by Allison Briscoe and Stefan Henshaw, it was discovered from the National Institute of Health in 2006 that there is a positive correlation between abuse and ADHD, specifically in girls. Girls with ADHD are at higher risk of having abuse histories, and the abused group shows higher levels of internalizing behaviors or cognitive deficits. This causes the child to have conflicts in school and have even more stress. Being abused, they're not getting any love, they're being neglected. At school, they may appear to be very aggressive or antisocial. This causes them to withdraw from their peers, and they're excluded in society. Poverty, on the other hand, let's talk about that. In August 2011, Center for Disease Control and Prevention found out from the National Health Survey that from 1998 to 2009, ADHD prevalence increased for children with family income of less than or equal to 100% and between 100 to 190% of the poverty level. So kids who are born in poverty have a higher chance of getting or being diagnosed with ADHD. Now, poverty, kids born in poverty, they experience a different environment than the kids who are born in a finer home or wealthy family. Kids in poverty don't have the opportunities and resources that kids in better homes have. They're forced to adapt to even more stress factors. With poverty, they experience hunger, they experience all sorts of stress factors. So when they're trying to transition into a different environment, they have more behavioral problems that causes them to behave that way, and hard for them to adapt to the environment. In 2010, of July, the article ADHD Has Sociological and Evolutionary Basis from PubMed.gov, it was found that the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, that diagnostic for kids were primarily school-related issues, and they're reported by mainly teachers. Nowadays, the school system has changed. There are more rules in place in the school, and teachers are impatient and intolerant for the children's behaviors. If the children is talking out of turn, disrupting, or any sort of behavior that's found in the statistics, then they are, the teachers tell the parents the child might have ADHD. Professionals are mistaking ADHD or these natural responses from children as ADHD. All in all, before we let outsiders, teachers, anyone say that our kid has ADHD, we must take a look at the stress factors and the environment that the child is surrounded by. All these factors can affect a child's behavior, can affect their thinking, it can affect their interactions with others. Many of these factors affect the child. There is nothing wrong with the child's brain. They do not have disease or disorder. It's merely the external factors and environment that cause the child to behave the way that they do. So again, identify the external factors that children might have around them to make them behave the way that they do.